Go.
Flake, for the days that crumble.
Our idea for Flake, to rebrand it, is to make a scenario where this guy is late for a date and you do jump shots from him to the girlfriend looking angry and annoyed with the whole idea that he's being late, then cutting back to him, and then at the end he's run out of breath, he's on the floor, then she looks really mad, and then he gets the right idea, he goes in his pocket, gets a little case out, opens it up, there's a flake, but it looks like the scenario of someone proposing, and then from there she looks happy again, and it cuts to the graphics and says the slogan again, for the days that crumble.
We drew out the idea of the story, which is, first of all, he's starting with the guy at his house, which shows that he's running late for his date, and he's like running past other houses and streets, etc. And then with the jump shot comes in, it shows the girl in the location that is supposed to be the meeting point, and her looking annoyed, and then it like switches from him again, going through sort of obstacles, showing his journey, how rough it is, etc. Maybe not exactly jumping over fences, but it gets the idea across that it's like a rush, like a dramatic rush. Then from there it switches between each time, between the female and the girl. And then the last part with the girl looking around, waiting for him to come, etc.
The second part of the advert is where the guy finally arrives at the meeting point, which would be probably after 20 seconds of the 30-second advert. So it gives you 10 seconds left to wrap it all up after the big dramatic build-up, where the guy will be at the 20-second mark. He should be running out of breath on the floor, and then that's when you have a shot of her looking all annoyed, being annoyed that he's all late and doesn't want anything to do with him at that moment in time. And then he pulls out the case and makes it look like he's about to propose, and a flake's inside, and it will have a close-up of the flake being inside, and then it will show that she's happy about getting a flake, like it would actually be a wedding proposal, and she's very happy about that. Then again, like I said earlier, it would cut to the graphics. The first convention I will mention is that the scenario of it is very real and appeals to a very common market of Britain, as we will make the actors look very normal and casual British citizens instead of trying to approach them as one genre of thingy. So say won't make them look like they're listening to loads of grime music, because that would take away a lot of the teenage British target audience, especially the mainstream part. And with the realism, it makes it feel more real for the audience. They can relate to the characters more, and it gives a more memorable tone to it all.
The next two will be romance, which is the whole cliche love story of a guy and girl going on a date, and also it relates to at the end of them happy being together, with the girl finally forgiving the guy for being late, and the guy happy that the girl forgives him. And also another part of the whole love cliche thing is the guy proposing, but having a sort of twist to it. And with it also being dramatic, as when the guy is running, and we want to have very sort of tension built up throughout the video, with the guy running, going through obstacles to try and get his way there. And then this is a sort of music that we have an idea of to use while it's going on.
At the start of it, when he's building up his journey of running to the area where they're meeting up, which we're hoping to do in London in Hyde Park, we want this to be the starting music, this type of music to be the start of the whole climatic idea of him being late and doing this massive dramatic journey to reach the girl in time. And then as the time goes on, we will change the music so it builds up more and more. Like now it's more dramatic, as more actions are done, more dramatic actions, and making it very over the top for what it is. And now as it reaches here, this will be where he just reaches the location. It's all dramatic, and they're about to, she looks angry in that, and then he gives the flake over, and then it's like the graphics would move in at the end here, and then it would fade all out. The second part, that what a major feature of our thing that puts into the unique selling point as well, is that we are going to keep doing back and throw jump shots from the guy and the girl being their point of view of the situation, like the guy running doing a dramatic thing, then cutting to the girl who looks fed up and annoyed, then back to him doing something really dramatic and running, still keep going back and forth, and just her getting more annoyed and him being more dramatic and rushing for the getting closer to the location. And during the time that we are going to have the girl on shot, instead of having the dramatic music, we would prefer to have a just sound in the background, like what would be happening in the background, to add to a humorous side of the advert that adds to the dramatic side of it as well.
The next one would be shock, and that's just mainly coming during the ending of the advert where the guy's proposing, and as the audience will think, oh, at least he's finally made it, but then it'll go into like, when he gets down to his knees, it's something that you wouldn't really expect, and then when he pulls out, instead of a ring being inside instead of a flake, it will still give the audience, it will shock the audience, as it's something that's unexpected, and will make them sort of remember it in a sense, as well as the audience wasn't. The audience is implying that he's going to propose that there's a ring inside, but instead there's a flake. And then also a sign of relief at the end of it all, as the girl has forgiven the guy, and it's sort of like a happy ending love story thing. Then also throughout it, I suppose excitement will be built up along with the dramaticness, as you're getting more into it as it goes on, and you're getting excited like what does he have to go through next, etc. And the humour will come in as well due to the proposal at the end of it, and also the proposal at the end of it, and also what he has to go through, etc.
Like through the dramatic tone that's going on around the whole advert, you would have the humour of it, as it's quite over dramatic, not necessary. Like for example, him going through a park, going into a park, instead of going just near the gate and going through the gate, he would like leap over a fence and do a somersault or something like that, or do a forward roll as he lands, just to add more dramatic and humour to it, to make it more memorable.
The slogan is for the days that crumble, and it's pretty much implying that no matter how bad your day is, a flake will always enlighten your day and make it so much better, and it will also...
That is like explained through the storyline of when he's having a terrible start to his day, as he's late for the date, she's really annoyed, but then giving the flake made her happy and forgiven, showing that even on the worst days that the flake can lighten it up. And lastly, because we are filming in the winter for this commercial, that we want to do it in London, and it will probably be very cloudy weather and very dull, which would not really work with our ending scene, where you want to show how lightened up the production, how lightened up the whole epidemic made it when he gave her the flake. So I would probably be using some editing skills to tamper with the lighting adjustments and colouring to make it look brighter in certain shots, if we cannot actually get them shots done.
Cadbury's has been around for at least 1800 years, and throughout that it's grown quite popular within many different types of audience, being young, old, middle age, etc. And throughout that they present themselves as being fair trade, so that they give back what they are given by the cocoa producers, etc. And that through their adverts, etc., they prove that they are family friendly to the vast majority. And I think the main point with Cadbury's is that it's British, so with this it will appeal to a main British audience, etc.
They show their Britishness through the way they produce their adverts and their on their previous locations that will be showing later, and how they act, you know. And with Flake individually, it's quite off-brand of normal Cadbury's thing, because a lot of Cadbury's bars are more gendered towards everyone, because that's what Cadbury's like to do, but Flake have a history of appealing just to women very specifically, in a pleasurable way, being very feminine. And it's said to be a very heavenly chocolate, which also crumbles a lot. If Holly wants to
Cleverly.
show.
I can't really show it, but yeah. Crumbles. I don't know. What do you mean? Like crumble.
Very crumbly, yes.
But yeah, and in their adverts they show that the girls are really enjoying the chocolate in a pleasurable way.
With the regulations, we'll be covering the child one mainly due to we want to use an actress, but she's age. Children.
Her age is under the 16 regulation of the whole child being endorsed by unhealthy food, so that we would have problems with this in actual production, but it should be fine for now. But we do have a backup that we'll be talking about later. As well as you want to talk about.
And also we'll be covering harm and offence as well, like making sure that we don't show anything harmful to the audience throughout our advert or whatnot, so that they don't become offended and cause problems, etc. with the essay or whatnot. So,
For example, one of these harms is like, while we're doing the filming of the dramatic scenes, the guy might be doing something that's pretty dangerous, but we don't want to make it look like it's okay to be running around doing stunts around London.
imply to children, oh, that's fine to do, and when it really isn't fine to do at all.
Another topic that we need to consider is the misleading message with the idea of it being lightening up your day, as in we don't want to make them think, yeah, if you have it, your day's always going to be better. It's going to make your day better no matter what, because that isn't what it does, but we're doing it in a jokey way, so it shouldn't show that, yes, we're going to make your day better by just having this chocolate.
And also, if we want to use this piece of music, we're going to have to ask the artist's permission to use it, otherwise it's going to cause some complications and look like fraud, etc.
As we would not be using original music, and it will be copyright theft.
Then also with the misleading thing, when it comes to the graphics in our advert, we want to make sure that we provide the correct details, like the amount of calories, etc., and make sure that it doesn't include any sort of like lactose intolerant stuff or whatnot. As you can see there, like, make sure it includes all the details on the packaging.
So make sure they know what they're actually
What they're
getting is
buying.
true, so we're not misleading them saying it's more healthier than you think. Flake was first introduced in the 1920s, and it gained publicity rather quickly due to its sensual advertising, and also from the Flake